Hey guys, I am Pixel Dan, and we're gonna do something a little different for today's video. I wanna do something that's a little more casual, sort of like a follow-up to a lot of my recent Masters of the Universe Origins reviews. Essentially, I wanna talk about various things that I feel like I can either elaborate on from some of those videos or just some fun things that I've discovered since doing those initial reviews with some of the figures. Just some fun things I'd like to show off. And I want to start with the land shark, as we've got it right here in front of us, because I feel it's important to talk a little bit more about compatibility with the Masters of the Universe Classics figures. So as you can see, the way I've got them in here right now, I've got one of the Masters of the Universe Classics Skeletor action figures seated in the land shark, and I've got them seated better than what I was able to do in my initial review of the land shark. And I wanted to talk about this specifically because so many people were telling me on social media and in the comments afterwards that you can fit these figures in there better than what I showed in the video. So I feel like this is an important thing to really kind of get into and talk about a little bit more, because I know that a lot of people who are still huge fans of the Classics line, the 7-inch Classics line, were hoping to pick up the land shark to display with that collection. And maybe they're not buying Origins, but they were interested in grabbing the land shark. So that's why this is important for collectors of this line. If you're just an Origins collector, this probably doesn't matter to you, but I'm still going to talk about it anyway. So Skeletor, you can see he's looks a lot better in this pose I've got right now than what I was able to do in my video, but I still want to show you guys some things with this. If you open up the mouth of the land shark, and I'm really hoping I can get a really good shot of this. There you go. I got to kind of get my lights in here to show it better. But do you see Skeletor's feet in there? You really have to push his feet through these little slots in the back of the mouth in order to really properly get him in there. I'm trying to get like some good lighting for you guys. There you go. Kind of see that a little bit better there. And it is tricky. It's not the easiest thing to do, but if you look at this, it is possible. And Skeletor honestly looks pretty good sitting there in this. Now, he does still look a little big. A little too big for this maybe, but still the position I've got him seated in right now looks a lot better than what I had before. You can see his butt is still up off the seat a little bit there. And also it is still hard to get him to grip onto these handles, because I'm going to stand by what I said in my initial review. The angle of the handles does not match the angle of the gripping hands. And that is the same for Classics and Origins. I really feel like these should have been designed just angled differently, like opposite, so that the gripping hands could grab onto them a little bit better. So that's one area where I really struggle with that, but I still like the overall look of this. Now, I want to take Skeletor out of the seat here. I want to show you how I positioned his legs. You kind of have to make sure that you position his legs almost sideways, and you do have to bend the knees, but then you want to position the shins and the feet kind of upwards, because you have to be able to slot the feet down through those tiny little holes there, because what I said in the video still holds true. Like, the leg room is really non-existent for the taller figures, but what you can do is you can slide his toes basically into those little gaps right in there, so that they kind of come into the back of the mouth, and that does make him fit a little bit better. But I'm telling you guys, it's not like something that is super, easy to do. Like, you really do have to kind of thread his feet through, just like this, and you can kind of see how I threaded the feet through there. And then you can kind of hunch them down forwards, and you can get them to try to grip onto the handles there. It's a bit of a struggle, to be perfectly honest, but I still think it's important to show you that for anybody that wants to buy this and display it with their Classics figures, like, if you're willing to mess around with it, you can get them in there. And it looks pretty decent. So that's what I really wanted to do here. I just wanted to show that off a little bit for anybody who was disappointed that I said that they couldn't fit, or for anybody that decided that I was wrong. I just wanted to show you that it is possible. It just takes a little bit of extra work to accomplish, and it's not perfect, but it's possible. So let's go back to Ninjor for just a quick moment. Now, this is one of the most recent reviews that I did, and I feel like I covered pretty much everything with Ninjor in my initial review, but there's one thing that I failed to show you guys, and to be perfectly honest, it's because I didn't notice until I was messing around with him afterwards, which totally happens a lot, I will fully admit. I talked about how you can store the katana and the nunchucks on his back. What I failed to show you is that you could store the bow there as well. There's this little clip hanging off the middle of the bow. So if we remove the katana, you can see that that little clip slides right into that spot where the sword goes. Now, you can kind of squeeze the sword in there also, but it's a very, very tight fit. If you want to try it, it doesn't really, it doesn't go in there very good. But the fact that you can still store two of his weapons on his back at all times while he's holding one of them is pretty cool. That's something I think Mattel did a great job with on this particular figure. Okay, now I want to talk about some mixing and matching fun. Whenever I review an Origins figure, I usually try to come up with some fun mix and match options to show you guys how the interchangeability works, but oftentimes I find new ones after the fact just from messing around with these, or some of you guys out there will leave me comments or posts on Instagram or Twitter and show me some of your combinations, and they are genius. One that I've seen come up a lot that a lot of people recommended to me was using the Masters of the WWE Universe Kane and swapping the arms onto Roboto. Now, why would we do this? Well, in the original mini comics, Roboto had red arms, and we've never been given an action figure of Roboto with the red arms to match the way he appeared in that original mini comic. So a lot of eagle-eyed fans pointed that out when I reviewed the Kane figure, wanting to know how that would look on Roboto. So we're going to do that right now. We're going to swap off the red arms from Kane, and the reason for that is because they are the Roboto arms, but they're cast in red plastic. So we can swap those with Roboto, because as you guys probably know, the Masters of the WWE Universe figures use the same bodies as Origins, which means they're fully compatible with part swapping. So look at this. We can take Roboto's silver arm attachments, any of them. We can put them on the red Kane arm. We can plug that red arm in. The one that's going to be a little bit of a standout is the right hand here, because Kane's got the black gloves, and you can remove the black hand, and we can replace it with Roboto's regular red hand, but as you guys see, we're still left with this black strip painted on here from the bottom of Kane's glove. So unfortunately, there's no way around that. So when we plug those on there, we now have a Roboto with red arms. Now, aside from this black strip right here, the only other thing that makes this not perfect is that the red of these arms is a different color red than the red of his legs. So it is two different shades of red. It's not a perfect match, but it's still an option, and it's the closest we've ever come to a mini comic style Roboto. Maybe eventually we'll get one, and they'll actually do the non-clear chest like he also appeared in that comic. But still, this is a fun little mod that is fairly easy to do as long as you've got the Kane figure. So this is another fun one that I thought about after the fact, and just something I wanted to show you guys, because we just got Ramman in the Origins line, and we also just recently got the Ramman themed Bill Goldberg figure in the Masters of the WWE line. They're definitely wearing completely different armor pieces. This seems like it's based on Masters of the Universe Classics, but it is slightly different. He's even got this little special helmet here with the spike on top, but Ramman came with this extra helmeted head with a fully helmeted face. So I was very curious just to see what this would look like. And when I attached this to the Goldberg figure with that armor, I was really impressed with how well this armor works with this fully enclosed helmet head. So if you've got this Goldberg figure, this is a cool way to maybe mix and match parts with some of your other Masters of the Universe figures and create a different type of Ramman, or maybe create a Ramman type character or a grunt of some sort, just because I feel like this helmet works really well with this unique armor that Goldberg's wearing. Just something fun I wanted to show you guys. Okay, I saved the best for last, and this is one that I really wish I would have brought up in the Stratos review, because this is my favorite mod so far. This is gonna blow your minds. Are you ready for this? If you have the Masters of the WWE Universe Rey Mysterio, who is wearing the Stratos-themed armor and gear, well, you can mix these parts up on your Origin Stratos, and you can create, in my opinion, a much better looking Stratos action figure. Let me explain. Rey Mysterio figure has much larger wings and a much larger jetpack because he's utilizing the Masters of the Universe classic parts. But his is even a little more unique because he's got this extra paint deco with like the red feathers on the blue harness. He also has the blue straps around his arms up here, which is one of the things I mentioned were missing on Stratos here. So Stratos has got much smaller wings and a much smaller jetpack because they were making this based a lot more on the vintage figure. So maybe this is totally fine for you if you prefer that vintage figure look. I'm not saying that's wrong at all, but I am going to show you how fun this looks when we swap parts. So if we remove the wings and the jetpack from our Origins Stratos here, and then we will just set him off to the side, and then we're going to do the same over here for Rey Mysterio. So Rey Mysterio's jetpack can just unclip and pull right off the figure, and then his wings are around the wrists, and since the hands are removable, that makes it very easy to pop those off. So let's just remove the wrists, and we can even remove those blue armbands if we want to. So let's go ahead and put those blue armbands on Stratos, just because, you know, I want to try to go for that more vintage look where he had those little armbands on that the wings attach to on that. And then we can remove his hands as well. So with the wings, I do want to point out that since the Stratos figure has these little wrist bracers sculpted on, the wings do not slide onto the forearm the same way they do with Rey Mysterio, because the wrist bracers on the forearm sculpt are too big. But you can still put the hand right through and pop the hand in place, and the wings stay on just fine. Look at that. That is very cool. So let's do the same thing on the other side real quick. And actually, we are also going to attach the armor, which I want to do real quick as well. And voila, my friends. Look at this Stratos. Seriously, he now has the larger wings. He's got this new jetpack that is a bigger jetpack than the one that came on the figure. Plus, it's got this extra paint deco on there, which looks really nice. And on top of that, the colors are the reversed colors, the red wings and the blue harness, which is much closer to the original 8-back release. I talked about the colors being the reversed colors on that Origins release. So if you prefer the red wings, this is another way to go. And man, in my opinion, this makes the Stratos figure look so much better. Now, again, you might prefer the more vintage look with the smaller wings and the smaller jetpack, but this looks awesome. It works so well, it's mind-blowing. I even love having the extra arm straps there. So if you've got a Rey Mysterio figure, and I know those are not easy to find. The Masters of the WWE stuff is very tricky to come by since it's a Walmart exclusive. But if you're able to get a hold of that figure, this is a really terrific mod for your Origin Stratos figure. So that's it. That's all I've got for you for today's video, but I hope you guys enjoyed this. I thought it was fun to try some of these different mods out and kind of show you guys some extra things with these figures. To be perfectly honest, this is what I'm enjoying the most about Origins. I love the play factor with them and the mixing and matching of parts and even the interchangeability between various Masters of the Universe toy lines. I think that's really cool. So if you guys enjoyed this and you want to see me do more things like this, just let me know, because I can always throw together some of these just update videos or just generic non-toy review videos, but just showing off some different things I'm doing with the figures. I don't know. This is something that I haven't really done before, but I had a lot of fun with this. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, and let me know if you guys try out some of these mods for yourself. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time.
The Toys of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe is available for pre-order now. This official guidebook is published by Dark Horse Books and features over 750 pages of photos and information on your favorite He-Man and She-Ra action figures. And don't miss out on the exclusive bundle pack available for pre-order now from PowerCon. This bundle includes the official guide as well as an exclusive character guide supplement that you won't be able to buy anywhere else. Don't miss out. You have the power.